Hey, what's up everyone, HobsonPlays here, and welcome back to another video. Today I have a bit of a tutorial for you for a semi-AFK tree farm. So what you see here is my version of a semi-AFK tree farm. In case you don't know what a tree farm really entails, basically you have a system that helps you automatically grow trees, a system that pushes those trees into some sort of collection chamber, and it just makes it for easier collecting of the wood that comes from said trees. In Bedrock, there's not a whole lot of tree farms going around. You can see versions in Java especially where you have these crazy piston contraptions all around and it helps you get all the leaves back and all that. But in my experience, bone meal for trees in Bedrock is kind of a jerk to you, and you'll never get as much trees out of all the bone meal that you're going to get as you want. But anyways, here we are now. Again, this is my version of a tree farm, so you might find other better versions. I decided I wanted to make a way to collect the wood with a second player. I have the luxury of playing on Xbox right now, so I have a second controller, which I can easily log in as a guest or whatever kind of other account I have, and they'll help me collect all these trees. So real quickly, I'll show you how this works. Basically, I have a pressure plate right here you stand on that will trigger this dispenser to try and fire bone meal into this sapling that we're going to place right here. And in a couple minutes, hopefully, or actually a couple seconds rather, we get a tree growing. This observer right here will detect that a block has grown. So just like this, it's going to tell these pistons right here, oh, there's something in the way here. Push that stuff out of the way. After a while, as you can see here, you're going to get a bunch of wood over into this collection chamber here. If I was in survival, this block would drop, but anyways, I'm not. If you were in survival, this would be broken by your second player. It's going to fall into these hoppers and collect it into this chest right here. Real quickly, just a little bit of rates. I did rates based on a full dispenser worth of bone meal. So for 9 stacks of bone meal, this is how much wood I got. It took less than 5 minutes or so to completely run that dispenser empty. I tried this 3 times. On the first test, I actually got 44 logs. I think there was I just had terrible luck or something went wrong with that one. But this is my general rates that I got for the other 3 attempts. I got a stack plus 10, a stack plus 15, and a stack plus actually just a little over half a stack here. So that one attempt was actually pretty successful. So like I said, I'm going to do rates based on not per hour, but per 9 stacks of bone meal. So you can see here for each 9 stacks of bone meal I placed, these are the numbers that I got. Before I start this tutorial, I want to do a quick overview of the different sections that this farm is made up of. So this first section right here is your detection system, probably the most important one here. Whenever this observer gets triggered by a block or probably a wood growing in front of it, it's going to send a pulse through this little kind of jammer clock right here, which I'll explain when we actually start building the tutorial. It's going to send a pulse to these pistons right here. It's a redstone torch line going vertically that's going to extend all these pistons here. I have these other sticky pistons right here. This system I put in here just because it'll break these leaves that grow right here, which are directly above your player who's AFKing on the pressure plate. It just increases the chance of getting saplings to grow or to fall rather onto your character here, and you will get some saplings back from this. I'm of the opinion that you're never going to run out of saplings if you're using if you've had any amount of saplings. You're going to run out of bone meal long before you run out of saplings. So this kind of helps that a little bit, keeping your saplings numbers up. But like I said, you're going to run out of bone meal first. So collecting all of the saplings from the leaves that are growing around this, I didn't think was necessary. The second section here is the clock for your dispenser. It's just a pretty simple rotational clock right here. Basically, you just send a pulse through here and it's going to rapidly fire the dispenser. So you're going to get your bone meal applied to your saplings as much as possible. The third system is the collection system right here. It's pretty straightforward. You have a little chamber here to make sure the logs rather, when they fall down, they're not going to go off to the sides and get caught on anything else. They're going to fall directly into your player's inventory or these hoppers, and it'll go to your collection system over here. The fourth system I have, and is really an optional system, it's probably not necessary at all, but if you're actually going to build this farm up and have this chest absolutely jam-packed with bone meal, you have stacks and stacks of saplings, you're going to actually AFK this, you're going to shut off your TV, you're going to shut off your monitor and just walk away for however long. This is a great system to have. Basically what happens if you get any logs past your collection system, maybe there's some kind of jam with your player here, he's missing some logs or whatever. If he can't keep up with what's happening from your piston system right here, it's actually going to send a pulse all the way back to this clock here, kind of jam up the whole system. It's going to lock your player who's putting down saplings here from placing any more saplings, and obviously saving you lots of bone meal, because this system's going to be locked. It's no longer going to be firing bone meal onto your saplings. It's just a great way to have it. If you, like I said, if you are AFK, you're really actually gone from your computer or your Xbox, whatever, you're not going to run into troubles where you're just wasting bone meal by firing it onto nothing. So before we get into the video here, I just want to say, if you guys are liking this video or liking the channel, make sure to leave a like on this video here and to subscribe to the channel. It does help out the channel a ton. It makes me know you guys are watching these videos. As always, I will be leaving a full block list down below and actually timestamps to each of these 4 sections that I described. So in case you maybe don't want the failsafe or you're having troubles with your detection system, whatever, you can just hit those timestamps and learn exactly what's going on in each of those sections. But that's enough gabbing. Let's get into building this thing. Alright, so first things first, obviously, is find a nice area to build your farm in. Now what we're going to do is take a regular dirt block and we're going to place it floating 1 block above the ground here. It's going to save you the hassle later of digging out ground. Obviously, if you are more comfortable with digging out ground, go for it. Secondly, you're going to want to place a block right here. Again, I'm using smooth stone as my preferential block for any of my tutorials, and actually personally even just in my worlds, I just love how this block looks. But you can use any solid block you want here. Take this block here and put a pressure plate just on it. So right here is going to be where you're planting your saplings, and here is where you're going to be standing for planting said saplings. Now that I got this out of the way, the first thing we're actually going to work on is the dispenser clock and dispenser system. So go ahead and place a block just touching this dirt block behind where you're going to be standing. Place a dispenser on it facing in towards the dirt block. Now we're going to go down here and we're going to get our redstone clock set up for actually telling this dispenser to fire. So go ahead and take a redstone torch coming from this pressure plate right here. Put a redstone right here. So go ahead, first things first, take a redstone torch and place it right here. Just coming from your pressure plate, place a redstone dust right here, going into a block. On the other side of that block, we're going to have another redstone torch, which should turn off. Redstone torches always get reversed their, I guess, polarity if they're powered or unpowered. Place a block above it, and then we're going to take a redstone repeater and place it in towards this block right here. So when you stand on the pressure plate like so, it's going to, actually I'll just drop something on this so we can take a look at what's happening. So when this is powered, it's going to send, I guess it's going to reverse this pulse right here. So this torch is going to turn on, which is going to send power to this repeater right here, which powers this block and triggers this dispenser. But that also in turn cycles through this whole system again, and it just, you can see here, it rapidly fires. Leave this on no delay here. But if you did want to ever slow it down in the future, if you're using this system, it is a great system for rapidly firing pulses. But like I said, you're going to want this on no delay whatsoever because you need that bone meal dispensing as fast as absolutely possible. All right, so that was the easy bit. Now we're going to work on section 2, which is the detection system and piston system for detecting and pushing your trees away. So let's come behind your AFK spot again, and we're going to place a observer where the face that detects things is going to be facing in towards your AFK player. And where the pulse comes out, go ahead and put a block just behind it. Now from this block, make a little platform of 2 by 3 heading out this direction like so. And we're going to take redstone dust from it, then a repeater on a 2-tick delay, then redstone dust, another repeater on 2-tick delay. Now we're going to take a repeater actually and send it off this direction here, and it's going to be on a 1-tick delay. So just a quick explanation of what this system does. If you take a regular observer and you just put let's put a torch here so we can see what's going on. If you put a block in front of it, it sends a pulse. If you break the block, it sends a pulse. So when we have a piston here, for example, that pushes a block away, it gets triggered again as it's pushing away. We don't want that, because otherwise you're going to have a system that double pulses all the time. And if you place a sapling down here, it's going to, send your pulse twice. So what this system does here, we'll just put a lamp here again for description's sake. If we place a block here, it sends the pulse. That's great. But if we quickly place it and break it immediately, we still only get one pulse. So what happens here is the pulse gets sent through and triggers this, whatever you're powering. But there's a delay here so that the second pulse that happens immediately, this repeater right here, actually, when it sends a signal coming through this repeater, it actually locks this repeater. So if you watch closely here, you're going to see a bar come up from that repeater. So place it, and you see the bar popped up. So what happens is, like I said, it actually locks this repeater right here, so it doesn't actually accept the pulse that comes through on the second break, on the second pulse. It's a little bit complicated. I'm probably not explaining it as best as I possibly can, but if you're like me and it works, doesn't matter, it works. All right, the next thing we want to work on is getting our pistons in place. So go ahead and place a temporary block from your dirt block there and place 5 pistons facing in towards this dirt block. So when they extend, they'd actually go above the dirt block. So again, 5 pistons here. This is actually your trees are gonna grow 5 wood blocks tall, and these 5 pistons are for those 5 wood blocks. Now, behind these pistons, we're going to make a kind of zigzag of blocks. I find it easiest to just put blocks all the way up, and then on the second and fourth blocks, we're going to place a block just outside and break these blocks that are just touching the pistons like so. Go ahead and take a redstone torch and place them zigzagging coming from down below. And then now we're going to go ahead and actually connect up this little clock we got going on here to this system here. So we're going to place a block right there. So the repeater is facing into it. A block right down below it. Whoops, where did that go? Block right down below it. Go ahead and get rid of this block here and extend it out this way. So it's going in towards that block. And we're going to go ahead and put 1, 2, 3 redstone dust just going into this block right here. Now, this next step is completely optional. I do like it to break some of the saplings so you get a little bit extra saplings. We're going to put another row of pistons, another column rather of pistons, but they are sticky pistons. So go ahead and place actually a temporary block right here and a sticky piston just on top of it. Go ahead and break that block. And we're going to go up 5 more sticky pistons from that bottom one there. Now, if you are going to do this, you're going to have to add another block above the redstone torch tower you got going on, and another redstone torch just coming from it. So now all of these pistons right here are also going to be fired, but we do need to kind of put a second block right here, a block right in front of the sticky pistons so that it actually extends out into this column directly above where the player stands. So now if we look up, I'm going to place a block right here, you'll see these pistons extend out, and any leaves that are here are going to break and hopefully drop you extra saplings. Now, the last thing we got to do in this section here is place a block 8 blocks above your dirt block right here, just to prevent the trees from growing way too tall and kind of messing up your system. This just makes it sure that you don't grow the extra large trees. So let's go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and move that over right above the dirt block here. Like I said, it's just to make sure that your trees don't grow extra large, and it will mess up your system if you have an extra large tree because they grow branches out of them and it's just going to be a bad time. Now, a little bit of a disclaimer as far as step 3, the collection system goes. If you don't have access to a second player, a second controller, maybe you have no friends, you're like me, you're just playing by yourself, you can actually stop right here. You don't have to worry about building up the collection chamber. Because it's only semi-AFK, you actually need a player to be over there. And obviously you need a player here to be placing saplings. So like I said, if you are just by yourself, you can pretty much stop right here. You can let your trees grow, and pistons can push out 12 blocks. So if you have maybe 12 trees have grown, or even less if you feel like you don't need that many, you can actually stop right here, hop off, break all your trees down, collect the wood, and if you want more, go back to AFKing right here, placing your blocks and growing trees. Then again, once you have enough trees that you feel like you are ready, go ahead and break all those ones there. So yeah, like I said, you can stop right here if you don't have a second player, but now we're going to work on building up the collection system. So now we need to come out from this dirt block right here. We're going to go however many blocks you feel. And in this actual instance, we need to actually go down 1 block. So let's break out a 3x3 area right here. And we're going to put a chest on the outer block right like so. So you got a 3x3 plus 1. And we're going to have hoppers leading into the chest. The reason why this is an extra block down from this dirt block here is we're going to have blocks, wood blocks right here. And obviously the player needs to be able to stand below them to break them, just like so. And you will still have enough reach to reach the 5th wood block that would be above you. So now from here, go ahead and go up 2 blocks. And place a block just on the 3rd one there. You can go ahead and get rid of these blocks like right there. And we're going to go 3 blocks away. And same thing on the other side. So you're building kind of a chamber for the blocks to go into. And we're going to build a wall up 8 blocks. On both sides. This is just to make sure that the blocks that you're breaking that are going to be up right here don't fall off and get stuck onto like the top of these blocks or whatever. I've seen it happen lots of times, and you don't want to be missing out on wood because that bone meal is precious. Now the very last thing we're going to do is build in a little bit of a failsafe. This will be handy for you if you are AFKing for extended periods of time. You're actually getting up and leaving your computer or your Xbox, whatever. You know, you're really not going to be paying attention. This is just going to save some of your bone meal if something does go wrong with this system. So go ahead and place a block at the end of your collection system right here with a redstone torch just on top of it. So whenever a log gets pushed all the way through your collection system, that probably means there's something going wrong somewhere. So then it's going to send a signal from this redstone torch back into our system over there. Go ahead and place a block just coming from the torch, just like so, with a redstone just on top of it, and it should be powered if there is a log here. For now, we can get rid of these blocks here. We don't actually want the system to be powered. Go ahead and draw a line of blocks all the way back towards your system, leaving 3 block space from kind of this outer edge here. So 1, 2, 3. That's where you're going to stop your line, just like so. Go ahead and place redstone dust just along this edge like so. And actually, rather, we need at the very end a repeater. Now from that repeater, we're going to set up a block just above it and a block down here. So this, if there is a signal coming through, it's going to power this block, which is going to power these 2 redstone dusts, right, like so. Go ahead and put a bunch of blocks like here. And down below, we're going to place a redstone right here and a redstone right here. Then repeaters in to each of these blocks right here. So if we do have a log coming from here, I'm going to send a pulse all the way down here, or send a signal all the way down here, and you see here it's locked this system. So now what's happening is, because all of it's being powered all at the same time, the dispenser is no longer going to be firing bone meal, and these pistons are also not going to be pushing out any more blocks, which is going to disable the player here from placing any saplings down. Again, it's a totally optional system. You really don't have to have this in place. If you're going to be just doing it by yourself, obviously, you probably don't even need the collection system. But if you're, paying attention, or maybe you have just limited bone meal, a whole dispenser full of bone meal is probably only going to last a couple minutes. So chances are you're not going to enable this failsafe, but it's there just in case you need it. One last thing you can add if you do so choose is a chest full of bone meal. So go ahead and put a hopper leading into your dispenser with a chest, probably a double chest. What? With probably a double chest just above that hopper. Fill that up with bone meal, and this should last you quite a long time. All right, to check this thing out in action, please welcome my totally legit second player here, who's definitely a real person, and I actually have friends. And he's going to stand up on this area right here, getting the system going, and I'm going to stand over here and break the blocks. Now, I just gave myself a regular netherite pickaxe. In my testing, I did it with a efficiency 5 netherite pickaxe, but I never once felt like I was, getting backed up or whatever. So you can probably do this even with just a diamond axe. I mean, if you're building farms up like this, you probably have, a best axe you can get. But for now, no worries. So with my character right here, again, I am playing on Xbox, so I have the luxury of having multiple controllers and controllers in general. So I'm going to go ahead and take an elastic band and place it over the right trigger. Now with my second player here, this guy right here, he's going to jump up on the observer, or on the pressure plate rather, and I'm going to put an elastic band on the left trigger, holding down the place the saplings button. And hopefully in a couple seconds here, we're going to get a tree. And yeah, I'm going to let this bone meal, I put 9 stacks of bone meal in the dispenser. I'm going to let that run out, and we'll see what kind of numbers we get. Alright, so you can see here we have ran out of bone meal. Let's just get him out of here. So you can see here we got 1 log in there. Now let me break all these ones out and we'll see what kind of numbers we get. Alright, so we got a stack plus 6. Not terrible rates. But yeah, like I said, that was 9 stacks of bone meal. So I'm going to be honest, you're probably better off to just go grow trees and cut them all down, go deforest something. In my opinion, this is not really worth it unless you have a bone meal farm. And even then, I'm not sure that there's pretty efficient bone meal farms in Bedrock. Obviously, mob farm is probably your best bet to get bones, but then obviously you have to craft that into bone meal. But yeah, fill this chest up, let it run for as long as you want. You may have noticed that my netherite pickaxe just by itself didn't quite keep up sometimes. Sometimes you get lucky and the bone meal will quickly grow this tree again. So if that's the case, then maybe you do want a efficiency 5 pickaxe of some kind, but I'll leave that up to you. But that is the end of the tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.